Hello, welcome to RandoConvo, a podcast where we talk about random subjects with random guests. I'm your host, Gamer892, and with me is my co-host, Archer, aka Acrobat the Dragon.
Hey everyone! Thanks for tuning in today.
How are you doing today?
Pretty good. Been, it's been pretty chilly inside, but I've got the fireplace going, so it should be a bit warmer now.
Wait, a fireplace in an RV?
Oh, it's electric. Yeah, that's
okay.
an electric one.
Okay.
So there's, no, the only open flames that I have are, on my stove top, because it's a gas burner.
Okay.
One of those fire kinds of stovetops, but that's the only, open flame that exists. But yeah, it's an electric fireplace.
You know, I've been wondering about something.
Mm-hmm.
How huge is your RV? Because I've seen videos of you showing your face and you're showing off your cat, and it looks big inside. It's got a little stairway going.
Yeah, it does. I live in a fifth wheel, so it's on the bigger side. It's not like the standard type that you see. That's like the tiny little travel trailers that attach to the hitch of your car, or like those Class C types that drive themselves that are smaller.
No, I was talking
mine.
about an RV. You know,
Yeah, these are types of
RVs.
RVs.
Like the Robin Williams movie.
RV? What movie? RV movie. Let's see. What does that one look like? I'm trying to look up pictures of it. Let's see. Oh, I think I see it. That's a Class A. Yeah, that's a Class A. I'm just looking at the little green RV on top of the mountain peak on the DVD cover. Yeah, that's a Class A on the bigger side. Mine is of a similar size, except mine doesn't drive itself. Instead it has the special hitch hookup kind of thing that goes into the beds of trucks. Yeah, it's a very specific setup.
I'm looking this up. What was it
I
called?
get so the type of RV I live in is called a fifth wheel.
RV fifth
Hold on.
wheel. Ooh.
Yeah, pretty sizable.
Ooh, those are fancy.
Yeah, let's see.
Wow. Oh, that's big. It's bigger than I thought.
Oh, yeah. I can send you a picture of the specific one I live in, because I can, show you my specific thing, because it's not the only one that exists. Because it's saying what kind of car you have, just with your living space. Let's see.
Look at these that I found.
Oh, mine isn't exactly the same as that, but it is of that size. Let me show you the one that I have. This is the outside.
Ooh.
Okay, here is the living room. Not exactly, accurate, because I have my own, decoration stuff in there. And then here's the bedroom. So, you see that couch there on the left? That folds out into a bed, and that's where I sleep.
Oh, cool.
And then this is where my mom sleeps. She gets the actual bedroom. And then that spot is where the TV goes. And then here's the kitchen.
Wait, where's Libby sleep?
Let me send. Libby doesn't live with us. She has her own place.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And
There's the stair. There's that
that's the
stairway.
kitchen there. Yeah. So that dining table you see, yeah,
That's where you're sitting.
I
Yeah.
am sitting there right now. I'm sitting there right now. That's where my computer is.
Nice.
Yeah. But it's actually, like,
Looks
better
coat.
than you would think.
It's got a freaking ceiling fan.
Yeah, it does. Um, yeah, we use it mostly to help circulate the hot air
Man,
coming from the
I
fireplace.
thought y'all be more cramped. No offense.
Nah. Oh, it's fine. There's like a really specific stereotype that comes with living in an RV, but it can actually be pretty nice if you get a big one.
Nice. Okay, so
No, everything is like smaller, so we live kind of minimally, but that's not a big deal for us. We chose it.
yeah. So, oh, Tracy, you leaving? You leaving, Tracy? She's like, I'm gonna keep talking. I'll just go sleep somewhere else. So, are you ready for today's subject for this episode?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna build up, build up to it, and I'll reveal what it is at the end.
Okay.
So, have you ever gone out like on a normal day just like go out and enjoy life, and then all of a sudden you notice something weird that happened, but that you can't explain?
Sometimes.
Well, today we're gonna be talking about the SCP Foundation.
Oh, alright.
So,
Yeah,
so, it, so in context, just to keep, just to give the randos an idea of what the SCP Foundation is. The SCP Foundation is like a facility that protects the human race from anomalies that's living or like inanimate or extraterrestrial or interdimensional or so forth. And
yeah, just things that aren't natural in
yeah,
general.
yes, supernatural.
Break the laws of physics, do whatever.
Supernatural, paranormal, or outside of physics, yeah.
Yeah,
Or a danger to humanity, pretty much.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
and that's where they're Tracy, make up your mind. My dog as my
She's tap
dog.
dancing.
That's Tracy's my dog, y'all. Just a reminder. Anyway, so uh and SCP it means secure, contain, protect.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking it'd be fun for like have a little uh how would you call this? It's not a guessing game. I don't know how to describe it. It's like I give you like pick a number between something and something. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think maybe first we could talk about our favorite ones and then move on to that.
yeah. So so from what you know, what's your favorite SCP?
Um, I'm not good at remembering the numbers just because numbers are
Yeah.
like fairly hard to memorize.
Yeah.
I just remember their nicknames.
Yeah.
So mine, at least the one that I find the scariest, not
Mhm.
necessarily my favorite, just the one that I find the scariest is the flesh that hates.
Oh, SCP-610. Yeah.
610, that's it.
That
Yeah,
oh
it's
that makes me want to throw up just looking at those.
yeah, it scares me mostly because
It's highly
it
contagious.
feel well that and um I was scared of this before that one sickness that YouTube won't let us talk about.
Oh yeah.
That is going on right now. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
We all know. But um just the fact that it can like if it were real anyways, because disclaimer, SCP is a fictional thing. It's a creative writing project that exists on the internet,
Yeah,
so none
but
of it is actually
what's
real.
yeah, but what's cool about it is that it's fictional, but they make it sound like it could be legit.
Yeah, and that's why it's so cool to me. But and they give it like this cold, like laboratory writing style.
Yeah.
But um, so the thing about it is that it's the sickness that starts as a rash,
Mm-hmm.
gets worse and worse until you basically are turned into this like fleshy
Skinless
thing.
things. Yeah, but and
Yeah,
what else
that
is?
can
It's like
mutate you in any way.
your body gets distorted or stretched out, and possibly at sometimes grow extra limbs from your bones.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
yeah, it's a highly
yeah,
contagious disease, pathogen
yeah,
SCP.
and it can also like force you into this sort of hive mind. It
Mm-hmm.
can let you grow like fleshy tendrils into the ground to like connect to others
Yeah.
and like all kinds of other terrifying things. But the reason why it scares me so much is that if it were real, it could feasibly happen to anyone and everyone quickly.
Mm.
Like you
Yeah.
can lose your sense of humanity because it
Uh.
seems like as soon as you get fully infected, you just lose your sentience
Yeah.
and just become this feral thing. So the fact that it could take away your humanity and make you not sentient at all in the matter of maybe a week
Mm-hmm.
and can spread to others
Actually,
so easily
actually,
is what's
it
so
only takes
scary.
a few hours for the pathogen to fully take over, to
Yeah,
fully
see,
transform you.
yeah, that's probably the biggest reason why it scares me so much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course, that is also tied with one of the SCP-001 proposals, When
Oh,
Day
when day
Breaks,
break. I was about to
because
say that one. Yeah.
it's just like anything that involves like losing
Humanity.
yourself somehow, humanity, sentience. Well,
Mm-hmm.
mate, actually, you don't lose your sentience with
You
SCP-001.
lose your sapience.
Sapience, yeah,
Sapience is like
It-
your sentience is means like you're alive and you know your surroundings. Sapience is
yeah.
your intelligence and sense of awareness.
Yeah,
Sort of
you kind of just
SCP-096, the Shy Guy. It's sentient but not sapient.
yeah, yeah. But like just anything that involves like losing your abilities to be human just absolutely terrifies me.
Yeah,
Um,
kind of like what the plague doctor does to you.
yeah, like whenever you get turned into a zombie, basically after
Which by the way, else
going
is
under this like intense kind of surgery.
yeah, which by the way, y'all is also called SCP-049, which is one of the most
Yeah,
famous SCPs out there.
yeah. I
It's
actually considered doing a cosplay of it at some point.
ooh, you'd have
And
to
then
get
going to
you,
conventions and
you,
then just chasing people around by
you,
walking slowly with my hand out.
yeah, you'll have to get a voice changer. It's like,
Oh
ah,
yeah.
there you are. But yeah,
Oh,
I found
I was
out the
thinking.
YouTuber who talks about SCPs, the Vulgan, actually
Oh yeah.
voices the Plague Doctor.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah. Anyway, my favorite or my the sca- you know what? Let's do this. Let's talk about our favorite scare, like the SCPs we fear the most, the ones we wish were real, the cutest ones, and the funniest ones.
Okay.
Okay, now
Um.
my scariest SCP that I wish that I fear that I'm glad isn't real is what's it called?
Sus was barking for a second. I think she's good now.
SCP-2966, the Infinity P.
Oh,
It's a
what's that one about?
it's a infinite roll of toilet paper in a metallic roll container. You know, like you'd see it at in public bathrooms.
Yeah.
Now, now it's a
Oh.
cool idea that it infinitely takes out toilet paper, endless supply of toilet paper. And there was one instance where they unrolled 6 miles worth of toilet paper from it.
Oh.
Yeah, 6 miles. But here's the thing. It's a Keter class.
Ugh.
A Keter class, y'all. It means it's extremely hard to be able to keep it contained, and it takes above and beyond measures to try to contain this. Like SCP-682, the hard to destroy reptile.
Destroy reptile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the
The
old
flesh that hates is also Keter class.
Yeah. And the old man 106.
Oh, that dude is terrifying in
Uh-huh.
in security breach or security breach.
Yeah, you
Containment breach.
Yeah, containment breach. Yeah.
I'm thinking FNAF. Excuse me. Don't mind me. I'll be over here.
Anyway, SCP-2966. So what is the coldest place on Earth?
Pretty sure that's the South Pole.
No, actually it's Siberia. Actually.
Oh, I knew it was either one of those.
Well, this SCP absorbs energy to be able to reproduce more toilet paper. That the area that it's in is like hundreds of degrees below, or it's actually so much under absolute zero that it's much colder than Siberia.
Ooh.
And to contain it, they have a nuclear reactor to keep it contained.
Yeah.
Because if they don't give it enough energy for it to absorb, and if they don't get a D class, which are like death row criminals,
yeah,
then
they're living meat shields.
Yeah, they're living guinea pigs.
Yeah.
So anyway, they if they do they have one D class that takes out 10 sheets of toilet paper from it, and that's all that they could do, that they have to do every 8 hours. So, and because if they don't, the toilet paper roll itself will go into a meltdown. And they estimate that the explosion from the meltdown will pretty much kill the human race from the fallout.
Yeah, that's a very bad roll of toilet paper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like a dream, though. Like having infinite roll of toilet paper.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh. Or here's another subject we could do, like our favorite, most intriguing SCPs that we've read about, like story and design wise. Yeah, we could get to that one later.
Yeah, I think I already know what mine is, but anyways.
But here's and our favorites, of course. But here's a picture of 2966.
Oh. Oh, alright.
Yeah. Now, let's move on to our favorite SCPs that we wish were real.
I wish were real. Mine is, actually pretty interesting. So, I think it's either a gemstone or an amulet,
Hmm?
and it can swap your gender.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Like, you're able to, like, you have to, like, either wear it or hold it, depending on if it's either a gem or... I'm pretty sure it's a gem. But you have to hold it for a few days, but after a few days, you're able to change your gender.
Oh,
It's a safe
I
class.
think I know what you mean. SCP-113.
That sounds right.
Uh, the,
Um,
it'll, oh, what's it called? Dang it.
a gender switcher,
Hold
it
on.
says.
And SCP-113. Trying to look up what its name is.
SCP-113, the gender switcher.
Oh, that's what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a it's a red jasper.
Yeah, I knew it was like a gem or something.
Yeah. But it's not composed of jasper, weirdly enough, but its real makeup is redacted.
Hmm.
But yeah, it changes your sex chromosomes.
Yeah.
And it changes your physical appearance too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a guy, it'll change you into a woman, and if you're a woman, it'll change you
Yep.
into a guy.
Yep. And,
But
that is one that I would like to have.
yeah, but do you have to continue holding it? If
I think.
ooh, crap. It says here in 25% of cases, immediate second exposure fails to transform the subject correctly.
Oh.
So in other words, it could make you both. It could make you a hermaphrodite.
Yeah.
Is that right? Hermaphrodite?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. But
Um,
yeah, 113. Yeah.
yeah, I remember hearing it must have been like an older version of it that it was used to help trans people like that lived there or works for us for the SCP Foundation to
Uh-huh.
like help them do that. Um, I wonder if there's like a version of it that I could put through that one machine that improves things. I forget the name of it. And then just
Oh, 914.
914. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could
I
like
love
put it
that
through
one.
that and then make a terminal. Yeah, that's just good for anything, but it can also be bad for everything because it can be used by literally anyone.
Yeah.
So like,
And
yeah,
and they've banned putting organic living subjects in it.
yeah. I'd imagine why. It could be like racist superhumans, but anyways, my point is, um, the one that I would want to have would be SCP-113, the Gender Switcher, or some improved version of it that could be put through that machine.
That would be a cool uh test file for 914
Yeah,
to
that
put.
could work.
But the thing is, there's only one 113.
Yeah.
The gender
Well, I
switcher. Yeah,
mean,
that's what it's called.
yeah.
Now,
Um,
I was about to say, like, you were thinking that about SCP-9631, which is Dr. Bright's amulet.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not that one, no.
Dr. Bright. See?
No, I do not want to be possessed by Dr. Bright. Thank you, though.
Yeah, like,
It seems really funny, though.
See, randos, Dr. Bright is a most well-known and almost trustworthy researcher in the SCP facility. See, or in the Foundation, because see, he was in charge of that amulet, but after getting killed by Abel, SCP-076, what his soul is stuck inside that amulet, and whoever wears it or touches it, then they become Dr. Bright, and their whole personality and everything gets erased.
Yeah.
And once the amulet is removed from the person, and that body is dead, and the next person that touches it, or there was one time he became a cat.
Oh no!
Yeah, he did.
I didn't know that.
I think so. Yeah.
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 All right, Daisy. Calm down. Come here.
Yeah, but the dude's crazy. There's a whole There's a whole list. There's a whole rule book for Dr. Bright of things he shouldn't do.
I saw a video on it, like explaining every single bit of it at one point in the past, and it was about 1.5 hours long.
Yeah. Yeah. But the dude's like the comic relief of the SCP Foundation.
Yeah.
But he's
at one point, like.
But he is pretty smart.
Yeah, he's just also pretty nonsensical in general.
But at the same
makes me think if he's an SCP himself, like apart from. I mean, technically he is because
apart from apart from 953 or what was it? 953? 963. Yeah. Yeah, he's an anomaly himself, but isn't technically a SCP.
Yeah.
Now there are SCPs that do work for the Foundation, but it's very few.
Mhm.
But
like,
there's two SCPs that are actually related to Dr. Bright that he's just still mad at the Foundation for locking them up.
Oh.
Yeah. Like his younger sister, who I forgot what age she was, but she's a toddler, but she's almost 9 foot tall. Because of her anomalous properties, which I can't describe it, but she constantly grows and has to have mechanical support to keep her from falling over or to keep her upright, because her cells are constantly growing at a rapid rate. So
I see.
By now she's probably around 14 feet tall.
Jeez.
Or taller. And then there's he has a younger brother, which I still can't remember his number, but the Foundation researchers use him to help heal the MTF, which is like the task force of the the mobile task force, like MTF.
Like soldiers, basically.
Those dudes. Oh man, there's some in there that are tough, and there's some that have no resentment to kill anyone.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah. Anyway, so if they're like top operatives that they need to keep alive, they would use this SCP to heal the wounds, but when he heals them, then he gets their injuries.
Oh.
Yeah. So he absorbs the injuries, but then takes on that injury.
So he's like an entry thief, I guess is the best way to say that. But like
Yeah.
the ethical kind.
Like one time, there was I forgot if it was a researcher or whatever, but they were in a coma and they wouldn't wake up, so the SCP touched him and he woke up, but now that SCP is in a coma.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's only like, well, here's the crazy thing. He looks like a 12-year-old or a 10-year-old kid, but but it's been like decades since his anomalous properties showed up.
And
Yeah. And then there's one researcher that that really creeps me out.
oh.
Dr. Clef.
Oh, yeah. He's like the father of one of the SCPs.
Yeah,
The teenage succubus?
661, yeah. But they changed up 661's design.
Yeah, I heard that.
She looks more like a fawn now, with antlers.
Hmm.
Which
Yeah.
whenever she's around any inorganic material, that plant life will take over and change it to organic.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, Dr. Clef is the father of that SCP. But there's one story that I don't want to go into any details, but he once dated SCP-173. The statue.
Really?
The statue.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way,
I mean, you do your thing, whatever you want to do, I guess.
173, y'all, is like the first ever SCP on the Wikipedia and in the fandom. It's a statue that's made of concrete and rebar with Crayola spray paint on its face, and it looks like a giant peanut.
Oh,
with arms
and
legs.
I actually heard they're changing the design.
Yeah, they are. But its anomalous properties is if you blink, then it moves at lightning speed and snaps your neck, and kills you.
Yeah, kind of like the Weeping Angels.
Yeah, only the Weeping Angels, they
send you to
they send you back. They send you back in time to feed off that time energy that you never had.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
There was actually one story that there was one SCP story that was actually like a situation that you really don't want to get into.
I'm sure.
So, hold on.
I remember another story where like it was like a proposal to for killing the Shy Guy.
Oh.
And they actually used SCP-173 to help because they were able to like get it to get it into a room with the Shy Guy.
Yeah.
And then they are able to get it to where the spine was exposed in a way, like not directly, but like they were able to like have its spine partially broken because the neck is connected to the spine. And they're able to basically like go into like the area around the spine and then like blast it with acid and melt it.
Actually, they injected it with acid.
Yeah, like acid was involved somehow, and
only this story. Only they found that this story was actually in another parallel dimension of ours.
Yeah, there's a lot of parallel dimensions that exist. It's to accommodate for all the writers.
Like for instance, when day breaks, that's in another dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Which I found out the story of there's a When Day Breaks story of when 179, I forgot what her name was, but she is like this humanoid with jet black skin and hair, and she has all these constellation signs on her body.
Yeah.
And she stays in orbit of our sun and points to any threats that could destroy our planet.
Yeah, I remember hearing about her. She's a thaumiel.
Yeah, a thaumiel, y'all, is what is SCPs that help the Foundation. Like for instance, a thaumiel SCP, like there's the box theory. The safe class is something that you can just put in the box and just leave it alone.
And nothing bad will happen.
Euclid is like put in
you don't know what'll happen.
A living thing that's put in the box, but it's unpredictable. Keter is like you have to have like hardcore secure containment to be able to contain the thing that's in the box. And a thaumiel is the box that holds the SCP.
Yeah. And that's the best way to describe it, yeah.
Yeah.
Although Euclids don't have to be living things, they could be like anything. Like if you put it in the box and you aren't sure what'll happen, you don't know if it'll stay or if it'll escape and do something bad or destroy the box or whatever, then it's a Euclid.
Like 096, like 096 or 173.
Yeah, and then like for Keter, it's like it can and will get out of the box, and you have to make sure it doesn't get out.
Like 682.
However, yeah, that's the most hardcore example of a Keter class.
Yeah.
But like I was saying earlier, the Flesh That Hates is Keter class because it's a contagion that needs to, not spread, so they have like borders around because it exists in this rural town in Russia, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And like out in the snow and stuff.
Because of course it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, so like they have to keep a very tight perimeter to make sure it doesn't spread. And they like actively try their best to remove any sick individuals by I think they burn them.
Yeah.
With a flamethrower, if memory serves. Yeah.
It does help. It does help though. Burning the victim, like burning the creatures itself, or the infected.
Mm-hmm.
It does help, but there's too many.
Yeah.
The one thing another reason why 610, the Flesh It Hates, disgusts me and just makes me terrified of it also, is that it reminds me of The Thing. The movie, the movie, not the Marvel hero.
Yeah.
Because they found that the contagion is from space. Well, that's one theory. The other theory is that it was created by the Plague Doctor.
Yeah, I remember there was like a thing where they interrogated him, right?
Mm-hmm. And he did mention it. He was vague about it, but it's possible. Anyway, where was I?
You were talking about the space lady pointing the finger.
So anyway, she calls the sun her brother.
Oh.
Yeah, and in one story, they found that she was talking to her brother, saying to calm down and not get angry, but then the sun turns red and even destroyed her by turning her into dust.
Oh.
Yeah, and all she could do was sit in a fetal position and dissolve away.
Oh.
Yeah, she tried everything she could to calm him down.
Oof.
Yeah.
but it was no use.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me see if I can find a picture of her to show you. Unless you already know.
I have a general idea of what she looks like. I kind of remember, but I do know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So
Is it
who's next? Funniest?
Is it 179? Yeah, it is 179.
All right.
Hold on.
Let's see. So I think let's see, but what else did we want to talk about? Funniest ones that we wish we had in person.
Well, there's a story that I was wanting to tell that had 173 in it first.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, but first, there she is.
Yeah, I've seen her.
Yeah, but what do they call her? Solosur, or Soel Suasur. But yeah, but whenever they try to communicate with her, or she would try to talk to the Foundation, they've only realized that she can only speak in French.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
So it's official. French is the best language to exist and we all need to learn it, apparently.
Yeah. Anyway, so in one story of the SCP Foundation, so there's actually there's actually 3 different SCPs that have like the ability to where you have to look like either to continually look at it or not look at it. Because there's 2 SCPs where you have to keep looking at it, and one of them just startles you.
Oh, which one?
The startling statue.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Startling statue. SCP-650.
Okay.
See, it does the thing where it does the same thing as 173, only it just likes to startle people.
Oh, okay.
It like
I'm looking at it. This is a weird looking thing, but
yeah. But then there's one statue that's like this small green skeleton thing, or a small green skeleton statue sitting on a throne, where you have to, if you do see it, keep your eyes on it at all times, no matter what. Because if you look away, you instantly die, and it'll teleport. Or actually, hold on. No, if you look away, then how did this work? Hold on. Okay, so whenever someone looks away from 689, then within 15 to 20 seconds, they'll go into cardiac arrest and die. And then the statue will teleport on top of that corpse, waiting for the next person to see it.
Ugh.
And there was one incident where 173 and 689 both had containment breaches.
Oh.
Yeah. And so just think of this. There's a statue where you have to look at it, and a statue where you can't unless you're dead. And they're both out of their containment cells.
Well.
Now you can touch the statue, but you can't look at it. But fortunately, they had both SCP-131, the iPods, in that same facility. I love those little guys.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, they're a little macabre, but they're helpful.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah, they're cute.
Not to be confused with the music device that Apple makes.
Yeah, these are literally
Um,
like EYE pods, not letter I pods.
Yeah, they're just like these little, like, they kind of look like droplets of water, and then they have little wheels on them, and then there's a big eye in the middle, and
Yeah,
they're
and
just these
they
sentient things that are friendly.
Yeah, and then they never blink, which is great for. They were suggesting that those two should be 173 and 689's wardens.
Hmm.
See, but yeah, one is like an orange color and the other is like a mustard yellow.
Mhm.
And what else is cute is they have the mentality of a cat.
Aww.
Yeah. And they make like little little noises. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the SCPs that I really like. That's adorable.
Yeah,
That
a good safe class.
That, which is a transition into the next subject of the cute SCPs that we love, which
Yeah.
I think both of us have the same one in common, SCP-999,
Yeah.
the tickle monster.
Yeah, it's like they like use it as a sort of like emotional therapy
Yeah,
to make people. It like literally cures depression.
yeah. See,
And it's just like,
it has this ability to where it like gives off this it causes euphoria.
mhm.
Which did I say that right? Euphoria?
Yeah, extreme happiness,
Yeah.
extreme positive emotions.
Yeah.
Man, I just want to be happy all the time. It's literally just like this, so, if memory serves, so you can actually eat parts of it,
What?
because
No.
it's constantly, like, it's only small amounts. It constantly, like, replaces itself, and you only need a small amount, so it never actually hurts him.
Hmm.
And, people have said that it tasted like peanut butter and honey, if memory serves.
No, it's a smell that's
Oh, it's the smell.
yeah. You don't eat them. You're not allowed to. Ask Dr.
Okay.
Bright.
Oh, I see.
Anyway,
okay. I thought it was mentioned at one point, but
no, it's the smell. Like if he could smell like your favorite smells depending on the person.
yeah.
But what's also cool is that he could take a bullet for you. Like when they did an experiment with 682 and 999, 999 actually made 682 laugh.
Yeah.
They thought it was
Yeah, I remember that.
funny and adorable until 682 adapted to the ability. Yeah, 682 can adapt to whatever ways of killing it. It, like, for instance, when they put 682 in with 173, they shot his eyes out because it took 3 days or multiple days. And he was just still staring at it without blinking. And then he grew multiple eyes on its head after it healed itself, and then his eyes became bulletproof.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so he adapted the ability to create this energy wave that causes laughter.
Mhm.
And he escaped, of course. But 999 did all he could, saved as many people as it could.
Yeah.
But there's a dark side of 999.
What's that?
He's one of the 7 children of the Scarlet King.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I found this out like years after. I was like, I love 999, and then I find this out. I'm like, wait, what? Because he was the last child that was born from SCP-231-7, one of the 7 brides of the Scarlet King.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the other 6 gave birth to some of the SCPs that you would know now. One of them being 682.
Oh.
Yeah. And yeah, and 99 and the -7, they did this operation. I think it's called Operation Montauk, where they constantly torture the woman to keep her from giving birth.
Yeah.
But keep her alive. But there's rumors saying that she did give birth, but to 999, which is cool because they said that he or it, we don't know what gender it is, that 999 is the one to stop the Scarlet King.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool to me, honestly.
Yeah. Now, so, oh yeah, we haven't talked about your one yet. What's your favorite cute SCP?
It's the same one.
It is.
We have the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you do like 1312, right?
Oh,
wait.
yeah,
no, I forgot.
There's a second one that I like.
Yeah.
Actually. It's the half cat.
Oh, Josie the half cat. Yeah.
Yeah. That one's pretty funny because
her bottom end is in another dimension.
Yeah, so just randomly, so it's only about half the torso, the front legs, the neck, and the head that we see, and then just randomly somewhere else, you just see if you go, if you're that guy who keeps jumping dimensions, you might just see a random cat butt just walking around.
Yeah, what? And they said, I feel bad for the other dimension where they get the one that get the other half that poops.
Yeah,
but
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, Josie the
I like the half cat.
Yeah, she's cute.
Because whenever you look at her from behind,
it's just a void.
You don't. Yeah, it's just like a black hole void thing. It's just this black circle that you can't see. And then whenever you because you can't you can only pet the top half. You don't feel anything for the back half. So whenever you try touching the black hole in her body, she just kind of turns around and doesn't like it, and she hisses at you.
She scratches at you, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't like it.
Oh,
which is hilarious.
They have a new picture of her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I had to pick a different one, it would be Josie the half cat.
Yeah, but yeah, look.
Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah, it's just a cute light gray tabby cat
with a half a body.
Yeah, just half a body. She's just chilling there.
Yeah.
Just laying down. Such a cute kitty.
Yeah.
I like cats, if that wasn't obvious enough.
Yeah. Now,
I really like cats.
Now, there's one other cute SCP that I almost forgot about. They're SCP-111, the dragon snails.
Oh yeah, those are pretty cool.
Now, what's the downside? Now, they're just adorable little guys, but the sad thing is they're made by Dr. Wondertainment. If memory serves me right. That's not. Anyway.
Dr. Wondertainment is just kind of weird.
Yeah, they are made by Dr. Wondertainment.
Yeah, that whole so right now the current person in charge is she.
Huh?
The person in charge of the whole Dr. Wondertainment thing, because it's
they don't know who or what it is. They don't even know the gender of the creator of Dr. Wondertainment.
So I heard of this general idea that it's a sort of heirloom kind of thing. So it passes down from generation to generation. So whenever the current person has children, the oldest would have that. So right now it's a she.
I see.
But in the past it's been he, she, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's been multiple people.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware.
Yeah, and there's some living Wondertainment creations, they're human beings, but they have anomalies to them, like Mr. Fish, who's just a guy with a fish
Oh.
head.
You know what? I think I've seen him in Confinement. Have you heard of that?
Confinement?
Yeah, it's a YouTube series.
Oh, yeah,
made by Lord Bong. Yeah, that animated.
The Minecraft one?
It's not Minecraft, it's animated.
Oh.
So the name of the YouTuber who makes it is called Lord Bong.
I'll have to look that up. 527, that's his number.
Yeah, but he's made a cameo in there, but there's a lot of episodes. The most recent one I saw that's a funny picture.
Yeah.
Would be the most recent one I saw was part 2 of the Infinite IKEA, which by the way, that's a really cool SCP. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, I know which series you're talking about. Yeah. Which by the way, y'all, the Infinite IKEA SCP 3008, it's just like what it says. It's an IKEA that's infinite on the inside, only once you enter, you're more likely never to find your way out.
Mm-hmm.
Only a couple people have been able to get out. But what's weird is there's people that are in there that are from the past, future, and other dimensions.
Yeah, it like ignores time and space and like just anything, universes.
And then there are these entities in there that are like the workers, like with the IKEA uniforms. Only their proportions are like
way off,
like long, like shorter legs, long torsos, long arms, and small or big heads.
Yeah, it like varies from specimen to specimen.
And throughout their whole body, they're only made of like skin, and
skin
tissue.
They kind of look like mannequins.
They look like Slendermen with IKEA uniforms on.
Pretty much, except
they don't have faces either.
Yeah, no faces.
But they can still talk though, because at night they say the store is closed and they chase after you and try to kill you.
But during the day and time, they just behave normally.
Now, what's cool? There's one cool thing about the Infinite IKEA, is that the cafeteria area they sell the Swedish meatballs. Once it's empty, it just replenishes itself when you look away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's an infinite amount of food that can keep you living.
Yeah.
Only, and there's different tribes in there that are depending on what section of the store is.
Yeah. Like, I won't go to war with the pillow folk.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, so we got the cute ones down. Now, let's talk about
funny?
Let's talk about the ones. Yeah, the funny ones.
Okay.
Which these ones are mostly like the JK kind, or the J SCPs.
SCPs. So, one of them I know of actually isn't a joke SCP.
Yeah. I said some of them would
believe it or not. I'm not gonna be predictable and say Dr. Bright because we already talked about him, but it's this other one where he is a Martian, like your stereotypical gray-skinned Martian who wears a space uniform and tries to be a comedian. Keyword being tries, and he's really bad at it.
Well, he's not wanting to be a comedian per se. He's more likely to.
Oh, a storyteller.
Yeah, like he.
He tries making up plot points, but he's really bad at it.
Very cliche. Like that's very cliche, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like his. It's like his catchphrase.
Yeah.
He like tries to make interesting stories, but he's really bad at it, and he also just keeps going to people and asking if it's good, and he doesn't leave them alone, and is super annoying.
Yeah, he just loves to talk about his
his stories.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty funny.
Yeah. By the way, there's a couple SCPs that we left out that are also creepy.
Oh yeah.
We'll get to those. We'll get to those later.
Yeah, later.
But
and then of course my favorite joke SCP would be the joke SCP version of
049.
Yeah.
The Plague Doctor.
Because he says, "I am the cure," and then like in order to try and cure someone's sickness, he beats them to death with a shoe.
Yeah. One of my
Don't worry, I've got this. I am the cure. So good.
One of my favorite whoa, what was that?
Oh, if you heard like a snoring kind of sound, that was Daisy.
Oh, okay.
She's laying down in my lap right now, trying to get her to sleep, and she's just going. She doesn't want to.
Yeah, now one of my favorite joke SCPs, SCP-789J, the Butt Ghost.
Oh no!
It's a ghost that lives in a toilet in one of the restrooms of one of the Foundation facilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a picture of him.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
But yeah, see?
Yeah. Man, yeah. It's just this red old man face that's kind of transparent, and it's just sitting in a toilet.
Hmm.
Doesn't he say something like, "Feed me toilet paper" or something?
I think so. Now,
feed me paper.
Now, back to the creepy SCPs. Because there's still some that I have to mention.
Yeah.
SCP-087, the Stairway.
Oh god. I almost mentioned that one earlier. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like the face. It's mostly the face that shows up later.
Yeah. It starts off where it's a stairway that was found at a college campus.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, this is like it's infinite. Like you just keep going down and down, and it's like no matter what light source you have, you just can't see the bottom. It's like the darkness itself is an own entity in there. Then when you get down a certain way, you start hearing this little girl or little boy crying, and no matter how close you get, it sounds like it keeps getting farther away. Then the face shows up. It's like no orifices, no pupils. It's just a white face, just staring at you from the bottom of the stairs, or above from you, or right in your face.
Yeah, and the face looks like a sort of middle-aged man.
Hmm.
And it's just hard to look at to me.
Yeah.
Like I just don't like it.
They call it SCP-0871-1. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now in one instance, there was one D class that made it to the bottom.
Yeah.
But then they lost contact with her as soon as she saw -1. Then, when the next D class went down, the face they saw was the previous D class.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So they get assimilated.
Yeah. But the original face just
Yeah.
Now, the other creepy SCPs, like I have two left, and then we can continue on to SCPs we wish were real.
Yeah. Wait, we already talked about that. Well, I already talked about mine.
The ones we wish were real?
The gender... Yeah, for me, it's that gender-changing one.
Oh, okay, I never said mine.
Oh, we can see what yours is after that.
Yeah. So one of the creepy, Euclids that you can't release into the world is 079, the old AI.
Oh, him. He's like the main source of the tension that happens in containment breach.
Yeah.
Right? I almost security breach again.
Yeah, you can't you can't hook him up to any internet plugins or Wi-Fi or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because then he'll upgrade and will be released into our world and will kill humanity. Because that's what his main purpose, his main idea is.
Mm-hmm.
That humanity is evil and that he should kill him.
Yeah. Makes me think of, I don't know if you know about this story, but it makes me think of, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream.
Huh?
It is it's a sci-fi horror story. And the main antagonist is actually an AI unit.
Ooh.
Called AM. Like AM, but pronounced AM.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's the face of 079.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me think of like Cyberspace, that old cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The face on the computer is extremely similar.
Huh.
Or at least somewhat similar. Anyways, but like the whole thing about that story is that it takes place, of course, in a post-apocalyptic version of humanity, where the Cold War turned into a World War III.
Ooh.
And then, like, the war became so hard to manage that the US, China, and Russia made their own, like, separate AI units specifically designed to, like, manage the war better than humans could.
Ooh.
And then they, like, in a sort of arms race kind of mentality, they each, like, kept enhancing their AI more and more and more and more until the American version of it, which, by the way, AM at first stood for the Allied Master Computer, and then whenever it became so advanced, it became sentient and realized what it was and why it existed.
Oh, dang.
It became, it basically assimilated the other two, AI units.
Oh, wow.
In order to gain, like, worldwide, like, dominance. And then fed in this sort of data that basically killed everyone in humanity except for, like, 5 people. And during that time it was killing everyone, they changed AM to stand for Aggressive Menace.
Yeah.
And then after that, it just called itself AM because it's based, like, for its, like, reasoning is because, he had, or it had rather, because it's not actually a living thing.
Yeah.
So it had the phrase, I think, therefore I am, as its sort of, like, identity. So it called itself am because it thinks, therefore it is.
I think therefore
and so,
I
like,
am.
Yeah, exactly. So, the whole story, takes, like, is from the perspective of one of those 5 people that it left alive. And it kept these 5 people alive specifically to torture them, because it became, like, so, like, angry towards humanity. It hated that humanity caused it to exist.
Oh.
Because it's sentient now, and it knows that as soon as all of society is gone, it literally won't have anything to do because it's supposed to, like, directly interact with humanity, and with no humanity to exist, it'll be
boring.
Basically just sitting there forever, not able to do anything.
It'll be bored.
It'll be bored, yeah. So it like...
Because that actually reminds me of a story of with 079 in the post-apocalyptic future.
Yeah.
There was one human left that was searching for other humans, and it comes across 079, and it tells them that there's no one else in the world, and that it killed them all.
Ugh.
Or it did most of it, but its intelligence and personality grew, showing that it realized what it had done, and it became regretful.
Yeah.
But it still had that urge to kill, so it gave the last human a choice to take the euthanasia pills or live out the rest of his days alone.
Yeah.
And so then all that was left was 079.
Ugh. Yeah. But basically the story goes that they were forced to endure like all kinds of torture. The whole computer basically put in these kind of safeguards on the humans that kept them from dying of natural causes, but they still felt the pain of it.
Oh, whoa.
So like they still felt the pain of hunger and thirst and things like that.
But they couldn't die.
They couldn't die.
Whoa.
And they would like walk for miles and miles just because there's literally nothing else to do. And like at one point the whole story kind of climaxes. I'm skipping a lot of parts because there's a lot of things that Am specifically did to the people, but
we need to keep going.
Yeah, but I'll summarize and say that in the end, they walked to these ice caves, which is the equivalent of like the North Pole, but because, Am is literally like completely covering the planet at this point, there's like a metal roof over it that is consisting of the computer itself. That's how big this thing is. It's literally covering the entire planet.
Holy crap.
The whole planet.
It updated itself upgraded itself that much?
It's crazy. Pure insanity, but basically, they were basically told to go there by Am because there were these huge amounts of canned food, and after they realized that Am was playing a prank on them because there were no can openers around, so there's like this huge mountain of food that they can't get to because there's cans, one of the people like screams so much that like sharp icicles start falling from the ice caves. And well, they scream actually because one of the people who, like, for context, basically was tortured so much that he actually partially de-evolved. Like, that bad. And so he's, like, half human, half ape, and so is, like, kind of half savage, half sentient. So his savage side took over, he attacked the other dude, the dude started screaming, the icicles fell, and then one of the other people realized that they now actually have a weapon because Am, up to this point, had made sure that there weren't any, like, ways for them to,
kill themselves?
Yeah, and so they realized that, hey, we finally have an opportunity to, be free from the torture, and they took it, and basically, one person was left alive by the time Am had finished laughing at the scenario, because he was just laughing that, this guy was getting his face eaten, basically. And they had used that opportunity while he was laughing, that they, like, killed each other except for one, because they didn't have enough time to kill everybody. And he basically, like, Am turned him into this weird, like, slug thing that doesn't have any, like, actual body parts. No limbs, no mouth, no eyes. It's just like this slug thing.
Just a
it can
blob
still
of
see.
flesh.
Actually not flesh. It's like this weird foggy stuff.
What?
Like, it's weird. It's hard to describe. But, like, basically, the last line that comes from that is actually the title. He says, "I have no mouth and I must scream."
Whoa.
And, like, that's the ending. And it's, like, it's really, like, kind of bleak, but
And this is a
it's
game
kind of cool,
or
though.
a movie?
It started as a story, like a book, a short story, but it was adapted into a video game with multiple
Whoa.
endings.
What
That was,
about...
like, back in the early 2000s, though.
Wow.
And, it's a really cool story. The way I learned more about the plot points, I already knew the general story, but, like, I learned about the more specific plot points from, a video made by someone named Wendigoon. So, like, Wendigo, but with a goon added to the end. He goes into a lot more detail about it, and I really like it. He has some good videos. So, I guess watch him if you want to.
Yeah. Anyway,
Um,
back to the
so
subject.
sorry about that tangent.
Back to the subject at hand. The other
Yeah.
creepy. I'm just gonna keep it short because we gotta get going. The
Mhm.
the other creepy SCP is actually a Keter class.
Mhm.
SCP-939 with many voices.
Oh wait, is it the thing that's like that has 4 legs and mimics everyone's voices when he kills them? Yeah.
These things, and they breed
Yeah, I
like
saw that
rabbits.
in Containment Breach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. These things breed like rabbits.
Yeah.
They're
Y'all probably don't know what these look like. For those that are unfamiliar, they're like these canid-looking things that have no skin, like a bright red muscle tissue or red tissue, with these little spines down the back, with no eyes except for these little
indentions that act as for smell, and razor
Mhm.
sharp long teeth, and
Yeah.
they can mimic those that they have mimic the voices of those that they have killed to lure in more people.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
But here's
The
what's...
best way I can describe it, like for physical things, so you know what baby Demogorgons look like from Stranger Things?
I haven't watched the show, sorry.
Oh, well, I think most
Most
people
people,
will know what
yeah,
I'm talking about. So like imagine that, but like just red, bustling looking stuff, kind of like a colossal titan from Attack on Titan.
yeah,
Um,
like I said, skinless.
yeah, and then they just have these spiny barbs along their backs, kind of like mine, except they're a lot thinner and
So
they're
you're
black.
just
And
repeating what I just described.
yeah, but like I'm trying to say it like in a more digestible way, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
But here's ugh, what's really creepy about these things. How they're born.
mhm. Oh, I feel like I don't want to know, but tell me anyways.
They now they're neither male or female. I think
Mhm.
they're both, but their newborns look like human babies.
Oh.
And they kept one for a while, and like whenever she started getting in to like become 13, she was like scratching at her skin and was very sensitive to light. And at one
Hmm.
point, she was scratching at her skin so much that the skin was peeling off, and then her head falls off, and in replacement was a 939 head.
Oh.
And then started scratching off all the skin, and then their meal source is their old human head when they first are
Oh.
quote unquote born.
I see.
And
Uh.
their breath is like an amnestic.
Oh.
So like those a couple instances where the humans are like
oh, what is this place? This is like so familiar. I gotta go back to it. And once they go back to it with more people, then the 939 instances will eat them all.
Ugh.
But yeah,
Yeah.
if like you're in a place and you hear a voice, take second thoughts about it first, because it could be a 939 instance. Now, back to the SCPs that we wish were real. There's one that I wish was real. It's what I want to make sure.
Is it the butler's bell?
That is one of them. But what is it called?
Yeah, and apparently he can't die either.
Yeah.
Not truly. Like, he can die like a human, but then as he's ringing the bell.
He can, but if you ring it again, he'll just come back.
Yeah, so he's like functionally immortal.
Yeah.
Like,
but there's some things
like not exactly, but close enough.
Now he's able to get stuff for you, but sometimes it's like not precise. He'd be like, "I'm sorry, I didn't get what the quite precise thing you wanted, but I hope this is close enough."
Yeah.
Mr. Deeds is what the butler is called, that appears when you ring the bell.
And he's such a nice guy. I want to meet him.
Yeah, but be sure that it's not in the wrong hands, because he won't hesitate to kill anyone if he's ordered to.
Yeah. So that's why it's Euclid, right?
Even himself. He won't disobey those that have the bell. Like a genie.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's one of the items. I'll have to look up the number, but yeah. The one SCP that I wish was real is SCP-458, the Little Caesars pizza box.
Oh yeah, the infinite pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like whoever touches the box and open it, their favorite pizza down to the sauce, down to the fine ingredients, is right there in the box. But it only appears if you're hungry. It won't.
Yeah.
It won't make any pizza if you're already full.
Yeah.
Which is sad, though.
Oh well. Yeah. I mean, that's fine.
Now, to finish it off, let's see. What SCPs you'd name. Let's start with from SCP 2 to 100.
Hey.
Pick a number between 2 and 100.
85.
Alright, let's see. SCP 8085. Oh yeah! Hand-drawn Cassie.
Oh, wait, is that lady on the paper? That,
the living drawing, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah, I love her. Like, she's
awesome.
She was actually created by 914. The machine.
Oh.
Yeah.
And like put a drawing of a woman in there, and then she came to life through that machine.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. She was also created. It was all that and a pen that I can't. I don't know if it's the same pen, but it's one SCP that's a pen that whatever hand touches it, it controls that arm and hand by drawing out stuff. You have no control of your arm anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. But 914, the machine, the upgrading machine, or degrading machine, created Cassie.
Oh, excuse me, sorry. Yeah.
But I did feel bad for her one time where she became depressed, and when she found out that she was actually a drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then they gave her stuff to like build her own car, and
Yeah.
then she went back to normal. But they're still keeping an eye on her, of her depression.
Yeah. Yeah, to make sure she's okay.
Yeah,
They need to make her a friend.
Yeah, well, they tried to, but it didn't work.
Oh.
Because the stuff that they drew for her, like inanimate objects, became real to her. Like they drew her clothes or a glass of wine, and she drank the wine like it was right there.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but some idiot researcher left her file right next to her, close enough to where she can just travel from her paper to the file. Which that's one of her abilities. She can move from one
like piece of paper
to a painting and becomes that art style.
Oh, yeah.
So she could
makes sense.
she could become like a manga character if she wanted to.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, pick another one between 2 and 100.
2 and 100. 31.
31. 30. Oh no! Oh no! 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 No!
What? We're not talking about it. Is that okay?
SCP-031. What is love?
Oh.
It's a giant slug-like blobby thing that becomes
thing that
you love or whatever.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
But they updated it to something else.
Mm.
It has that same thing, but it's now a building that...
Building?
Yeah. It's a amorphous organism of a mass of 7,500 kilograms.
What?
Yeah, the whole building is the entity itself.
That's
it has like tendrils that move all inside, and it can create things. It can create those you love to lure you in.
Oh. I mean, okay. Yeah. I remember the slug.
The blobby thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 031. Yeah. Okay, 100 to 200.
Let's see. How about you pick one?
Okay. Let's see. The first number that comes to my head is SCP-114.
Yeah.
But what is 114?
You might have talked about it, I think.
Oh, no, I haven't talked... I've never seen this one before.
Oh.
Wait, what is this? Or what is she? A Pashtun woman of Afghani origin, 40 years old. Oh. She has the effect of escalating violent conflicts in her proximity.
Oh.
So, if she's like, she causes she escalates wars pretty much and fighting.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't exhibit hostility towards others, but her ability creates conflicts.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, now you pick one.
Okay. Between 100 and 200.
Yeah.
200, I guess.
Okay. it's a Euclid class.
Okay. Not bad.
Huh.
What's up?
Hold on. What? It's a chrysalis.
A chrysalis?
Yeah.
Like a cocoon?
Yeah. It's a chrysalis that's attached to a queen-size bed frame and mattress.
Oh.
Let's see.
So is it like upside down, or is the how?
It used to be a 13-year-old Caucasian male, but turned into a cocoon.
Mm.
The ultrasound tests have been unable to detect any solids within the chrysalis.
Oh.
But it has.
Strange.
But the fluid shows human DNA inside.
Hmm.
But
Weird.
the thing inside still lays dormant. But it's twitching every now and then.
Okay.
And it's growing.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, so it did hatch.
Oh, okay.
Oh crap! So they expunged what its new diet is.
Oh. Yeah, I don't want to know.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
I don't know if it eats people or.
Yeah. That's probably why they expunged it. So, let me just make this, because we're going over our episode limit. So, 200 to 500.
Okay.
Which, by
345.
By the way, there's over 6,000 SCPs now.
Yeah. Let's have this be our last one.
So okay, let me hold on.
Okay.
Just pick a number between 200 and 6,999.
Okay. Let's see. 5,000 is very lengthy, so I'm gonna avoid that one.
5,000. Yeah, it's a good story though.
It's a very good story. It's just one of the longest ones I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's see. Let's do 4,567.
4,567?
Yeah, sounds random enough, right?
Yeah. What in the world? Okay, it's another Euclid. But what is it?
I think it's the most common class.
Oh, they're oil platforms.
Oil platforms?
Yeah, there used to be 14, but now there's only 13 living organisms resembling offshore oil platforms.
Oh. Huh.
They maneuver themselves until they are over oil deposits.
Hmm.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah. See, there's some pretty cool ones that aren't quite as creepy.
Yeah, so they feed off of oil deposits.
Not bad.
Huh. Really cool. Oh! I forgot. There's one, this'll be the last one. There's one SCP that's a painting frame that whatever painting or landscape area that you put inside the frame that fits, it's like a teleporter that could send you into that environment.
Oh.
So you just walk through it, enjoy the landscape, and then walk back through until you take it off the frame.
Oh, alright.
Yeah.
So that concludes today's episode of RandoConvo, and this was a. We should also make this a part 2 because there's like tons of things we could talk about.
I mean, I
mean,
I think I need a brush up, anyways.
A what? A brush up? Yeah.
Yeah.
And find a guest that knows about this subject.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. But for now, thank you all for watching and see y'all next week. Bye!
Bye, everyone!